One of the reasons that I think that the theme for the 2015 meeting is going to be so compelling for Division F is that what we do is investigate, so what is justice? Is pursuing desegregation justice, or is fortifying neighborhood schooling justice? Are pull-out programs justice, or mainstreaming students, is that justice? And so historians do this by looking at the past, but it's something that we are deeply interested in. I think what historians can offer is a perspective on reality in the past. History is about interpretation, and so other scholars in AERA are working very hard and very well towards with current issues in education. What historians have to offer is perspective on those issues. There are a lot of things that educational reformers, curricular developers, policymakers can learn from history. It is interpretation. How these people working in contemporary times understand their reality is something that historians can shed light on. By looking at these same kinds of debates and themes about justice or injustice in the past, can shed light on how we might chart a course towards the future. One of the ways that I see historians of education having a contemporary impact is through teacher education programs. But also vital to becoming a good teacher is self-reflection and understanding the socio-political context of schooling and the role of schooling in society, and then the role of the teacher in those schools. What I would wish for policymakers, curriculum developers, and educational reformers and future teachers and current teachers is the time and space to do self-reflection so that they can act. That's what Praxis is. It unites reflection and action. And what historians and other people in the foundations offer is that self-reflection. And what I would hope for these policymakers, curriculum developers, and educational reformers is the opportunity to reflect. I think there's too much action and not enough reflection. There are too many kings and queens and not philosophers or historians in the mix. And so when I think about Praxis, I think of history is not just an interesting thing, but a useful thing in achieving actual praxis. Value tensions is a way to understand what historians can offer. And an example is, I'm at the University of Washington in Seattle, and the recent PICS decision, the Parents Involved in Community Schools decision that was at the Supreme Court, which ended busing in high school level in Seattle. I make that a topic of conversation in class. And the value tension is, there is real value in neighborhood schooling, in going to the school that is near your house. There is distinct value in that. But there's also a cost when you live in a residentially segregated city. What do you value? And so this is what I put in front of my future policymakers, my future teachers, my future professors. Let's look at what you value. You have to make a choice. Neighborhood schooling, desegregated schooling, and hopefully integrated schooling. And this is an example of what historians can offer by looking at the same kind of debates in the past. This isn't the first time we've had this debate. This is old. Goes back to the Brown decision. The Brown decision was an amazing landmark decision. Is forcing desegregation the only way to achieve justice? It really depends on how you define justice.